The original group at the hospital I was attending were a fairly isolated bunch. But I think with amalgamation of some of the health areas into larger groups, they've actually had sharing of resources, increases in funds. So I would suggest that today I'm getting a more holistic support service structure. And that's supported by the fact that we've got to the point where we're now walking with orthotic shoes, and we're at the point where I haven't had a recurrence of a serious wound. I still have a wound. It hasn't completely gone away, but the orthotics at the moment are the best that I've had in the past.
The clinic itself, as far as the nutrition side or diet side, they asked what was my diet like, and I said, I'm not someone that indulges heavily in takeaway food and bits and pieces. I do tend to stick to the fresher stuff. I don't have the most explicit diet, the best diet out there, but it's usually reasonably fresh and full of vegetables and still meat, still fish, things like that. Keeping yourself in check and having a good balance was the main thing, and that's what they asked me, is what is your diet like? I said, it's not the best, it's not the worst, and they said, look, just keep doing what you're doing, keep it consistent.
It was only 2 years ago that one of the health specialists mentioned NDIS. Now, this is a long-term wound, this is a long-term issue. Never had anyone mentioned NDIS. It was a revelation, and it was just a sort of off-the-cuff comment by one of the orthotic practitioners. He said, this is quite costly for you. Have you consulted with NDIS? Who are they? I'd never heard of them. I didn't know because I'd never been in that sphere of having a long-term medical issue where I needed to consult with all of these different specialists. And once it was referred, go and see NDIS. I went and saw the NDIS, and that's where it's been beneficial, because NDIS have actually stepped up and given me that support for those specialists.
One of the major sort of figures in this story is the help that my son's given. He's the person who sort of puts the new dressing on and has a quick look at how it is, takes a photograph, sends it off to Jan so that she can go, and probably, I suspect, sends it off to my clinic. Sometimes I think, if I was still living by myself, I don't know how I would manage. And then I think, well, I'd probably have to have a nurse coming in every day, and that would just be so much more complicated. And as it is, to have a member of the family who's looking after me, I'm very grateful to him for that.
Some of the problem was lifestyle and how that was interfered with, not being able to go in the water and just be normal with my daughter and dog, and having a leg that's not functioning right work-wise. It didn't stop me from doing things, but it was something that niggled away at you, and just every now and then I just go, I just wish this would stop. I wish it'd go away. The strategy is we're probably more within myself than outside of myself. Understanding that this is what I've got, I'll get through it. I'm getting the help I can, even though it's drawn out and it does get a bit much. I'm still functioning. I'm still, reasonably healthy everywhere else. It's just that side, my right leg's giving me grief. So there's comes a point where mentally I think you need to be complete too. And having a little bit of that opens up other doors for you mentally. And I think if you have the right mindset, then your body will heal better as well. I think that's a really important part.